Okay, so you can see that John is able to look at the document. I haven't had to email it to him or anything else. Rosebud took care of that. And he mentioned that it's a 4-page document, so he has the exact same document that I do. And that's important because as we're collaborating, it's crucial that we're able to see the same information. Now, another aspect of this is the fact that John doesn't necessarily have to only work with documents that I want to add. This collaboration session may require any one of the participants to add their own document to the mix, and John can do that. So, John, you have a document that you'd like to add to the session. Is that correct?
Yes, I'll add that now by opening it on my laptop.
And all John has to do, literally, during the session is open it up. Rosebud will ask him if, in fact, he does want to add it to the session. He'll say yes, and then Rosebud will go ahead and add it to the session. Now, once that happens, Rosebud is going to alert me that there's a new document in the session, and it will automatically download it to me so that I can be working with that document as well. And that, again, happens automatically, so all I have to do is just sit by and wait for it to go. And it's complete. So now I've got a new document that is a part of the session around which John and I can collaborate. And again, this hints at the reason that we're leveraging Adobe Acrobat and PDF as a part of this process. To add this document to the session, what John did was he scanned a memo into Acrobat directly, and then before he added it to the session, he used Adobe Acrobat's Recognize Text using OCR functionality to make it so that this is actually sort of live digital text. It's not just a picture of the document. And that'll become important as we're trying to collaborate because we'll be able to use the collaboration tools around this document in some pretty unique ways. So, John, let's go ahead back to that original collaboration document, and we'll return to that. And we'll start the collaboration process so you can see how this works. I'm going to click on the comment toolbar here in Acrobat to bring up my commenting tools. These are a robust set of tools that work very much like a paper-based collaboration session, of course, except the fact that they're digital. So what I'm going to do is, just to show you that John is able to see what it is that I'm doing, I'm going to go ahead and add a comment to this document, and then I'm going to have John tell you what it was. In this case, I'll go ahead and add this, and you're watching what I do. I'm going to hit the delete key. Now, John, what comment did I add to the document, and where did I add it?
Oh, Tim, yes, you crossed off the first paragraph.
I crossed off the first paragraph, and note that it's a particular color. In this case, it's purple, and that just is a way of Rosebud allowing us very quickly to collaborate easily. We can see each other's documents or see each other's comments in different colors. So, John, by the way, what platform are you using?
Yes, I am running on Acrobat 6 on the Windows XP.
And it's worth pointing out that I'm running Acrobat 7 on a Macintosh OS 10, OS 10.4, actually, the newest version of the operating system called Tiger. So it really doesn't matter. John and I are able to collaborate. We can see the information exactly the same way, yet we're using very different tools for this process, except for Rosebud, of course, which is the common denominator. Now, once I've crossed out a section of text, John, why don't you go ahead and add a note to the document, and you'll see that he can add a note, and I'll be able to see his note as well, and this is going to hint at the power of this tool. And you can see that John added the comment, do you want me to rewrite this paragraph? And so very much like a sticky note that you would add to a piece of paper, John has added a virtual sticky note and indicated, in this case, he's asking the question. Now, the reason that this is important is because although John and I could be talking about this, John could simply say, Tim, do you want me to rewrite paragraph 2? And I could answer him. The fact that this is a session that stays active, also known as a sticky session, means that anyone else joining the session is also going to see this note, and he's going to know that John and I are communicating about this. And so if someone else is joining, he or she would know not to bother asking that same question. They could just let this sort of question sit on the table. Now, another part of collaborating also means looking at the same information at the same time. So, John, why don't you go ahead and change the page? So John has changed the page of the document now to page 3, and I'm going to use another one of the comment tools, one of my favorites because it matches the way I tend to do things, and that is the pencil tool. I like to just kind of write on a document and then indicate why I've written. So I'm going to circle this object here, and once I've got the object circled, John, why don't you tell me what I've circled?
Oh, you've circled the top of the large artery.
That's right, and by circling the top of the large artery, I've indicated that there's something about that. I'm going to go ahead and write a note about that. I'm telling John that I think what?
This looks like blockage.
Of course, I've misspelled the word blockage, and this is one of the advantages of Acrobat, is that it actually will tell me that I've misspelled something. So I'm going to go ahead and correct that. In the meantime, you can see that John is adding his own note to the mix. He's going to type something. And he's indicating that he's questioning, should we bring the patient in? And again, this is very important, both with respect to a live collaboration session, but also with respect to somebody else who might come into this session and need to see that we've already had this discussion and that we've determined that it's a good idea to bring the patient in. So I could go ahead and add my own note to that fact. So the comments that we're making become sort of a part of the document of record, because this collaboration session around this document has these comments in it, and when somebody else comes in, they'll be able to see these comments,